Welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, your home for discussions and debates about all things animation. Each week, we'll rank, review, and revel in animated shows from yesterday and today, and from around the world. So grab your Acme slingshot, set your mobile suit to autopilot, and put on your mouse ears. The Animation Station Podcast begins now.
I'm hungry.
That's how you're starting the show?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Okay.
I haven't had breakfast. I didn't get any brekkie today.
Oh no,
I slept in a little bit.
Oh.
I was watching Rooster Teeth till 4.
Oh my
so
gosh. Jeez. Well, we'll have to talk about that in the second half of the show.
We will. And welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 68. My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin. No Corey?
No Corey. Corey's not here.
Is he getting lasers put in his eyes again?
He's getting them laser eyes. Like,
All right, cool.
So Gavin, how's it going?
That's all right. It's going well. I've been working a lot, been busy. Looking forward to my trip next weekend, or this coming weekend, for the Popzilla art show.
So is that in LA or where's that at?
It's in Anaheim.
It's in Anaheim. Are you going to be able to swing by the park on?
I will not. I will be there for less than 24 hours. I'm literally just flying in for the show. Gonna meet up with some people and hang out at the show. The show's from 6 to 10, and there's like a whole festival, like street art fair.
What time do you get in?
Of it. I think I get in at like 10 or 11 a.m.
You should at least go into the park, get an ice cream, and then leave.
Well, here's the thing. My pass is now expired, and I'm not going to renew it until I'm like there to actually visit the park, because then it's like a waste, because it's probably going to be a few months before I get back. So then that'll be all wasted time. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No ice cream for you.
No.
That was delicious ice cream.
Yeah, they have great ice cream there.
What's that place?
Where did we? I think we got ice cream at the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor.
That place.
Yes, that's my favorite place to get ice cream in the park. I love it.
Yeah.
What did you get? I can't remember.
I got cookies and cream, and then I got chocolate because we went twice.
Oh, I didn't go with you the second time, I guess.
Yeah, you were there.
Was I?
Yeah. We went the first time.
Uh-huh.
And then when Oliver was there.
The proper choice.
And then when Oliver was there, we went again.
I don't think I
think Tony was with us.
Maybe you guys were there. I don't think I was there the second time.
No, because it was Tony was there.
I don't think I
miss
was
Tony.
There. Well, Tony's awesome.
Tony's
awesome.
It's
understandable that
we
you
need to
miss
have
him.
Tony on again.
I saw that thing that he designed, or that he worked on. Did he work on it, or did he just direct it?
I think he assigned it.
Oh, he delegated it.
He delegated it.
Again, we'll talk about that later when we talk about all the Rooster Teeth stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm interested to hear about.
So, Gavin, you got any news?
I saw not a trailer, but kind of a weird preview for Coco yesterday. It was one of those ones where they're kind of showing you a trailer, but they're bouncing back to like the directors and filmmakers, and they're commenting on what the film's going to be about. So it was kind of like a documentary trailer. It was weird. I've never seen one like that.
It's like one of those like behind the scenes type.
A little bit, but it was really just them promoting the film. It was just weird to see it like jump from a scene back to a director, from a scene back to an animator, from a scene back to a whatever musician, and all of them talking about different parts of the film while you saw scenes. So it was, I don't know if this is like a new way that they're doing trailers. I'm not really a trailer watcher, so I don't know if there are other examples of this, but mixed in with all the other trailers I saw last night was that, which I thought was interesting. And we're only a week and a half away from Coco release.
Yeah, it comes out
it's getting real
next
close.
Wednesday, right?
So I'm getting pumped. I'm really excited for this one.
You know what I was excited about this week?
What?
Fate Apocrypha came
I saw
out
that
on
post.
Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Have you? Is it a release of the whole season?
Well, we got the first 12 episodes. We got the first
okay.
12 episodes, and then next 12 episodes probably in January.
And how many times have you watched those 12 episodes already?
Just the one.
Just one.
Yeah.
It came out yesterday, day before?
Well, no, it came out last Friday.
Oh, okay. And you've only watched it once?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised.
Or maybe it was last Monday. I don't remember. It was last week sometime. But no, I've been super busy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been busy with voice acting stuff and podcast stuff. It's just been crazy.
And new equipment
stuff. Got a Mac finally.
Woo!
And figuring all that out.
Yeah, man.
It's
there's a
it's
lot.
Definitely different.
Yeah, there's a learning curve to it, but I think it's a good move, man.
We also had a little bit of news on the anime front. Ooh. Also, so I guess we're going to continue that way. But anyway, watch Fate Apocrypha. It's fantastic. It's a nice... Because it's not a sequel. It's a nice spin-off of the Fate series.
I was going to ask, are all of those Fate series, are they all tied together?
This one is like an alternate dimension type thing. So it's like an alternate timeline with this one.
Okay. So it kind of has the feel of those other ones, but it's not.
So it's the same.
So
it's still Fate, but it's just it's different.
Got it.
And
what's the general, for people that haven't seen that, what's the general idea behind the Fate series? What's going on there?
Well, there's this thing called the Holy Grail War, where you fight. It's a bunch of mages, and they fight to obtain the Holy Grail because the Holy Grail will grant you a wish. In
this context, is the Holy Grail what we think of in the Christian tradition?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, this is very, like, there's a lot of religion in this, like a lot of, Christianity, pseudo-Christian religion, stuff like that.
Is it set somewhere particular geographically?
Mainly in Fuyuki, Japan.
Oh, okay.
And then, but this, for Fate Apocrypha, it takes place in Italy.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of not Italy, Romania. Where's Transylvania at? Is that Romania?
Is Transylvania its own place?
Yeah, but yeah, it's I think it's Romania. Like it takes place in Romania. So that happens there, but yeah, it's all about the Holy Grail War, and what these mages do is they will summon a familiar, kind of like a fighter, to be on their side. And so they'll summon people like King Arthur, Lancelot, Joan of Arc. We had someone from, like in Fate Apocrypha, we have Chiron and Achilles from Greek mythology.
Wow.
We have Charlemagne's, like one of Charlemagne's knights. So it's just different things. You have like, but it's basically people throughout all of history.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like a lot of people that are historical figures.
Is the series set now, or in the future, or in the past? What's going on there?
Well, I mean, it's anime, so it's kind of like one of those
nebulous time.
Yeah,
okay.
Where like this is this time frame.
I mean, is there like science fiction or like advanced, or is it?
It's like modern day.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there's cell phones and stuff like that, and cars,
right?
And just everything.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fantastic. I absolutely love that series.
Very cool. So when does the second half of that series come out?
Don't know yet.
No idea.
I didn't know that this was coming out so soon.
Was it a Netflix original?
Well, it's one of those things that Netflix they
produced.
Yeah, they produced it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's been out on Crunchyroll for a while.
Oh, okay.
And just kind of was waiting for the dub to come out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, back with more anime. Cowboy Bebop director Shinichiro Watanabe is reportedly producing a new anime.
That's exciting.
With Studio Bones. So, and it's going to be another music-based anime where music is going to play heavily, like Samurai Shampoo. Not shampoo, it's shampoo. But I call it shampoo. And Space Dandy and Cowboy Bebop and all these different things that he does. Like, music is a focal point in all of his productions.
Yeah.
And he's 52. So for him to come out and, yeah.
I would have thought he was older than that. I mean, Cowboy Bebop is pretty old.
98.
Is that when the series started? Wow. Yeah, okay.
All right, I may be getting that mixed up with Trigun. It was 96 or 98.
Okay. Mid to late 90s.
It's in that area, yeah.
I guess I thought it was a little older than that, but, I mean, that's exciting. I mean, Cowboy Bebop, that's how we started this show, was with Cowboy Bebop. And
then 68 episodes later, we're still talking about it.
It's so good. That's cool, man. So, but we don't know anything besides he's
reportedly
working on
he was at a con
Project X.
He was at a con in I think it was Melbourne or Melbourne, however, I don't know. Depends on, where you're at. He was in a con in Australia and he had a thing in a little panel and he said that it was kind of like I'm working on something else.
Nice.
But yeah, we don't know anything about it.
That's
which kind
exciting.
Sucks.
That's really exciting.
We also have a little bit of stuff going on in the Guillermo del Toro universe.
It's becoming a universe.
It is becoming a universe. So we have Troll Hunters already.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is he's actually creating a new... What's a good word for it?
I thought universe was a good word for it.
I guess universe would be a good... Yeah. It's called the Tales of Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
And it will encompass Troll Hunters, something called Below, and Three Below.
Oh.
And then Wizards.
Nice.
So it's all going to be part of Tales of Arcadia. So it's all going to be combined, which makes sense because in the teaser for the new Troll Hunters, I guess maybe it wasn't a teaser, the new trailer for Troll Hunters, we have that nerdy boy, I can't remember his name, he thinks that the trolls are aliens.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm thinking maybe he's going to be the protagonist of
Aliens.
Of Three Below. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I don't know what we're going to do with Wizards.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm
sure we'll meet new people.
Fascinated to see. So yeah, I think while we watch season 2, we'll be on the lookout for indicators of where are these going to spin off. But that's really exciting. Do we know if they're actually in development yet?
Yeah, apparently Three Below comes out next year, 2018, and
Nice.
Wizards is 2019.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And
which
are
is
they
nice.
going to do a season 3 of Troll Hunters? Do we know?
I don't know if we'll do season 3 of Troll Hunters with Three Below coming out next year. Now, that doesn't mean that Jim and everybody won't be in Three Below or Wizards, which I can see them doing something like that, especially in something like Three Below, because you want to, pull some of your main characters from your flagship show into your new stuff, just to kind of draw, like what happened with Jag.
With Jag?
Yeah. Well,
the military lawyer show.
Yeah. So, because here's the thing about
Jag. How old are you?
Yeah, I know. So, two of the main characters from NCIS were on a couple episodes of Jag, and then as a introduction to NCIS, and then spin-off, we got NCIS.
I honestly don't know a single person under 50 that watches either of those shows.
I used to. It was good, man.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
But I like those procedural dramas. And
I do too,
like
but those in particular were just no, I couldn't do it. I tried with NCIS, but I couldn't.
Oh, it's great stuff, man.
I'm sure it is.
Anyway, we also had this last weekend, Rooster Teeth had their Extra Life stream.
Yeah.
Where they were raising money for the Children's Miracle Network, and their hospital of choice was the Dell Children's Hospital.
Nice.
I did make some donations.
Excellent.
I got a poster that our good friend Tony helped kind of assigned.
I'm sure he had his hand in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of the subject matter.
Yeah, it's super Disney. But what they were shooting for $1 million this year for the hospital and everything.
Right.
They raised 1.2.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
It is really, really cool.
It's neat that they have what's the word I'm looking for? Initiatives like this,
Yeah.
Because they have a rabid fan base, and they can wield that power for good, and I like that they're doing that, and that's a very good cause.
Exactly.
1.2 million.
1.2 million.
And
it's a great company to work for. Hint, hint. Call me. I'll be there this week.
His resume is pulled up. He's hovering over the send button. Just tell him when.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll send it.
Hilarious.
But yeah, so basically that's all I did yesterday. I just watched them be weird and crazy.
Do they do it like a telethon? I mean, is it kind of like...
It's very much like a telethon.
And they break in with updates of how much they're up to, or...
When it first started, it's because basically what it is, it's a 24-hour marathon where you play games. Okay. And it can be video games, it could be board games, it could be card games. It's just games. Whatever games you play
games, or you watch them
them play games.
Got it.
And that's the way it started. Like, it originally started, I think the first year they made like $26,000 in donations, which is really good.
Heck yeah.
7 years ago. So that's, you just play video games. And then you talk a little bit and stuff like that. And it's evolved so much now, where video games used to be they would do picture in a picture with it. Video games would be your main picture, and then your bottom picture you would have your people talking, everything like that. Now it's completely different. Now, since it's all a show, the big screen is your people talking and acting around and doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Right.
But in the bottom half, they do have people playing video games the whole time.
Okay.
So they haven't gotten away from the video game aspect.
But it's a little bit more about watching them goof off.
Exactly.
Got it.
Like 1 year, I think Michael ate like a dozen lava cakes from...
Oh my gosh.
From Domino's. Yeah. They did a milk challenge.
Ooh, no.
They did the one chip challenge this year. All kinds of crazy stuff.
Did they ever do the cinnamon challenge?
They've done the cinnamon challenge before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never.
One chip challenge, that one's a good one. It's one chip, but it's like 1.6 million Scoville.
What?
The peppers. So it's like got ghost peppers.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, like powder and everything. So it's like one of them is like 1.6 million Scoville.
Wow.
Yeah. So you eat it.
a Corey type chip.
Yeah, it's very much a Corey type chip, but it's like you only eat one because then it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was pretty good.
Would you do one of those food challenges? Like if you were challenged
I've
to
done
that?
the cinnamon challenge before.
Seriously?
Yeah. It was not fun.
Did you want to die? What was that? What was the sensation you got from that?
Like everything was just dry, and it felt like I was eating sand. And it was one of those where I didn't think I would ever be able to like breathe, drink again, because like it was just like all of the moisture in my mouth was just gone.
I'd be afraid to inhale and then have that all go into my lungs.
Yeah, I mean, you eat cinnamon.
Oh, that's no big deal.
You eat cinnamon.
I couldn't do it. Now, if it was like a food challenge of like eat gross things, I think I'd be better off at that.
Well, they
did
like,
eat the world's hottest, like,
oh yeah, I can't
burn
do the
your
hot
tongue
stuff.
with
No,
second
that's
degree
stupid.
burns kind of stuff, or
yeah, like if it's eating weird stuff,
guzzle
I'll
gallon
eat
of
weird
milk.
stuff. I'm not gonna. Yeah, they did the milk challenge where they guzzled the milk.
No, that stuff is designed to make you puke or have mucus pour out of your nose or something. No, I can't do that.
They did a McMosa yesterday.
What?
It's when you take a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, it was a hash brown,
so like
orange
a
juice,
McDonald's breakfast,
orange juice, and then
and
champagne, and then like a couple breakfast burritos from McDonald's, and put it in a blender, and it looks like a good smoothie because it's all yellow. It's all
like
yellow, but apparently it's awful.
I bet. Oh my god.
So they did all kinds of stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
And I basically watched them all day.
That all sounds very Rooster Teethy.
Yes.
And I don't mean that as a derogatory thing, but they know their lane and they stick in it. And I think that's what has got them their success.
Yeah.
Is that they are true to their own brand. And I appreciate that. I think it's, as somebody who's trying to carve out a brand for themselves, I really appreciate what Rooster Teeth does, because they have their identity. They know what they are, and they're not trying to be anything or anybody else. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, they have a rabid fan base because of that.
They do have a rabid fan base.
Yeah.
And my resume, if you need me, just contact us.
Or sponsorship. I mean,
sponsorship.
something.
Yeah, hey.
We're plugging you guys like crazy right now.
But we don't want anything in return unless it's a job or a sponsorship.
Or cash. I mean, I'd take cash.
I mean, yeah, we'll take cash. Elon Musk, you're my boy too. You know, you got any Teslas floating around? Holla.
That'd be nice.
All right, you ready to start our main topic?
Tentatively,
I've
yes.
been trying to put it off as long as humanly possible.
Yeah. Let's dive right in.
All right. So for our main topic, we didn't say that at the very beginning, did we?
That's okay.
For our main topic, we watched Studio Ghibli's 1988 inspirational film, Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We did, and appropriately so. On Veterans Day weekend, we watch a World War II film.
Didn't think it through.
Is that? I wonder.
Nope, no. It was just like, oh, Grave of Fireflies. It was one of those like.
Who picked it? Was it you or Charlie?
It was both of us.
Oh,
we were
and
like,
you sure you didn't see World War II on November 11th?
Nope,
and...
didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was a coincidence.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But just a little plot synopsis.
Okay.
The story of Seita and Satsuko, two young Japanese siblings living in the declining day. Oh, sorry.
You want to start that over?
Well, it's one of those where it's not written correctly. So, this is the story of... I'm going to change it. Okay. This is the story of Seita and Satsuko, two young Japanese siblings living in the declining days of World War II. When an American fire...
Uh-oh.
When an American firebombing separates the two children from their parents, the two siblings must rely completely on one another while they struggle to fight for their survival.
Mm-hmm.
And they go through all kinds of fun, happy hardships. Real.
None of them fun or happy.
None of them fun or happy. They have a little bit of fun.
They're kids, so they play. But oh my gosh, this was rough.
Was rough, man.
This was rough. It is very World War II, very Japanese, and man, it like the thing that they do really well with this movie is they kind of put you in the place of these kids.
Yeah,
I felt like I was living this time with them, and they do.
It does a really good drawing. A really good job of drawing you into the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, when we were discussing it, go ahead.
I hate a lot of the people in this story.
Oh, there's some cold-hearted, unlikable characters. Yeah. Mostly the aunt. Who I want to...
Well, the whole entire family too. All of them are being like that.
Yeah, her daughter and then the lodger that was there. They just had no time for those kids, and that was rough.
I hope when they got bombed. I hope that house went, and all of them were inside. Mainly the aunt. I hope that she was inside.
Yeah. So before we get to the story, you mentioned right when we started that it reminded you of the look of Akira.
Yeah.
And so we put it in context. Like, this movie came out in 88. Akira did as well.
Yeah, in 88.
And, those are two very intense, pretty hardcore movies. And I think it's interesting that we juxtapose that with what we're making here in America that year. And that's the year that Disney's working on The Little Mermaid. And thinking of a film like that, comparing it to Grave of the Fireflies, oh my gosh, it kind of makes Little Mermaid seem really frivolous, which, I mean, it is. It's a frivolous movie. But this movie had so much weight to it. So much intensity and like real implications in the world. It's very historical.
Yeah.
And, just, man, it tugged on the old heartstrings.
It's always fun when you start the movie off with, I died this day, or it's like, that's the day I died. And you're like, oh, well, that's great.
Yeah.
And you're still a young kid.
Yeah.
You're not like a 60-year-old dude, in your bed at home. Like, no, you died in a subway.
Right.
It's like, good Lord.
If this happens to be the first episode that you listen to us, basically we're going to talk about the whole thing. We're going to spoil everything.
Yeah. Spoilers ahead.
On that note, basically all of the characters that you care about in this movie die.
Their whole family dies.
Yeah. Everybody dies.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, wartime, that can't happen. And Ghibli pulling no punches with this one. We're like, oh, yeah, the whole family died.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because Japanese film history and, anime history is replete with the themes and the scars that they were left with from World War II. And I mean, this is no exception. It falls right in that tradition. So, they do kind of still resonate. They do kind of, the echoes of all of that impact, still carry through. And even in anime we see today, they still have that apocalyptic obsession, of death falling from the sky. And, it just speaks to the fact that war is not good in any context whatsoever. And I'm not a supporter of it ever. I mean, I don't even care. No, war is not the answer. And this, to me, is just such a beautiful statement about why it's not the answer. And just watching these two kids struggle for what seemed like 4 hours. How long was this movie? An hour and a half? Okay. Man, it didn't seem long in a bad way. It just seemed long because, oh my gosh, the struggle of this movie. This is by far the most intense thing we've watched on this show and talked about. And, I think it was a beautiful film. I highly recommend it, but I want everybody to be prepared. It is a sad, tough film to watch. So, do you want to go into more of the story and just kind of lay it out?
Not really, because I honestly don't want to think about the movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I now own it because you can't rent it anywhere unless it's
that
on
was a buy?
I had to buy it.
I had to pay for it.
Yeah, I had to buy the whole thing.
Okay.
It wouldn't let me rent it. Like, I can't rent it on Amazon. I can't rent it on Xbox. Mm-hmm. The only place that it's available to rent is on iTunes. And I'm like, I have nothing that can play iTunes other than my phone and my Mac. And I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So, had to buy it. And it's now with me forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll never probably watch this again just because it's so sad. It's so depressing. And I'm okay with, I like war movies. I like, World War II movies. Like I said before, I think The Longest Day is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Uh-huh. And it's also like one of the longest movies of all time. It's like, I think it clocks in at like 3 hours. It's very much up there with Lord of the Rings.
Right.
But this one, it makes you feel so much. Like with those, it's usually soldiers and everything like that. And you're like, okay, soldiers die in war. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. This movie, completely different. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to show you the civilian impact of what happens in the war. Mm-hmm. And you watch it and you're just like, yeah, man, I don't even know. It's tough. It's a really, really tough movie. Because we started off, our mom dies.
Yeah. Well, you start off with an air raid, and she's like, I'm going to the shelter. You guys do this, and meet me at the shelter. They're like, go to the shelter. And then air raid happens, and they don't
And
make
it's one of those ones where you're like, if they all went to the shelter together, they'd probably all be dead, and it would probably be a little bit easier for them.
Possibly.
Or if they all waited to go to the shelter, they'd probably all still be alive.
Right. And this is where the impact of this film first hits me, because after that first air raid, they show you burnt corpses. Mm-hmm. They show you the death and devastation of war. They show you the ruined buildings, and then when you see the state of their mom, who's bandaged up with burns from head to toe, you realize at that point, okay, they're not holding anything back in this film. This is hardcore. So then it's basically the two kids have to decide where to go, because their dad is in the Navy and he's off to war.
Yeah.
So they're on their own.
So they go live with their aunt. I don't know whose aunt this was. I don't know. I don't think, because it's not her mom's side. It's her dad's side.
It might be.
Well, because
they said it was a distant aunt, so I don't think it's a direct sibling of either of their parents.
The aunt says, "Don't you have any? Like, doesn't your mom have any other relatives?" So I'm like, I think maybe that's why it may be dad.
But I don't think it's their dad's sister.
Oh no,
I think it's like dad's cousin or something.
Because the whole time I was like, just stay with this nice lady. the one who like met them at the elementary school. It's like, stay with her. Right. She's like the nicest person you'll ever meet. Just stay there.
Right.
And like, no, we're going to live with our aunt.
Well, and that's where some more of that reality comes in, is that at some point your kindness becomes too big of a sacrifice for your own family, because everything is being rationed at this point.
Yeah.
So you take in 2 kids, that's 2 more mouths that have to go against your ration. And you could see how devious and selfish the aunt was.
Oh yeah,
when she taking all their stuff and trading it for rice and giving them some of it, and being she's a bitch. I'm just gonna say it. She's a bitch. I hate her.
Well, I also noticed like when she's giving them food, she gives her husband, scrapes the bottom, gets all like the rice and stuff like that. When Seita gets his food, she just like skims the top and just gives him broth.
Right.
And then when the daughter comes, gives her food. And I'm like, really? These are kids, awful. Man.
I know. No compassion. She saw them as just a burden and an annoyance. And that's one of the saddest moments of the film.
Yeah.
Is when these 2 kids are like, I guess we're better off just
living by ourselves.
Going out into the world and being vagabonds. We'll do that, I guess. Peace out. And you're thinking, geez, what is the state of this place, and how awful of a person can you be to just... And then when they're leaving and she's just like, okay, well, bye.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like, I wanted to just...
I want to punch her. like,
oh my gosh.
I've never hit a woman, but I would punch this woman in the face.
She is just awful. She was the hardest...
She was the main villain of this movie, and the B-52s are bombing Japan.
I know.
And she's the villain of this movie.
Really? It's true. It's very true.
God, yeah. So awful.
So then they find this little abandoned, I don't know if it was the opening of a mine shift or mine shaft.
I think it was an old shelter or something.
Was it? Maybe it was kind of like this 2 little bunkers built in the side of a hill. So 2 little like rectangular openings with beams, and they just kind of begin to set up a home there. It's next to like a little pond, and it's kind of out of the way, so there's not a lot of people coming and going. There's that one group of boys that kind of finds them at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Big Brother just decides to take care of little sister in this little spot, and they get a little wood burning stove thing going, and they got some pots, and they steal some stuff, they trade some stuff, they buy some stuff. I mean, they're just surviving.
Yeah. Well, my thing was, I get that they only had 7,000 yen, which is not a lot of money. It's like $70 American.
I don't know what that would be
nowadays.
Back then. Yeah,
I don't know what it was in 1945. Maybe 7,000 yen is a lot. But just watching it, I'm like, why didn't you go... You knew your sister was doing bad. Why didn't you go earlier and withdraw that money and get her food and everything like that?
Right.
That was one of the things that was hard for me. I'm like, I know you guys didn't spend all 7,000 yen, but yet...
I don't know what their culture was like mid-20th century. I don't know if the instinct or the impetus is immediately there for somebody to go to a doctor, or if...
And this kid is also 14 years old.
Yeah,
maybe 14. I don't even know how old this kid is.
Right. Yeah. So maybe he just thinks she needs rest, or she needs, more rice, or, I mean, eventually he does take her. And again, no compassion. The doctor's just like, oh yeah, she's malnourished. See ya. And he's like, well, how the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Give her a sucker or something,
so
man. Jeez,
frustrating.
everyone.
Oh
But I mean,
gosh.
it's also one of those, like, it is war, it is rationing, and it's like, do you help these 2 street urchin kids who are dirty from head to toe?
Aladdin and Apu would have.
Well, there's a difference between Agrabah and Japan.
This is true.
And, they're like, doesn't your dad have relatives in Tokyo? And it's like, yeah, he does. I don't know how to reach him.
Yeah. Let me get in my car and drive
how
there.
am I supposed to find these relatives in Tokyo?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, I can't imagine being in that state of desperation where you quite literally have to just swallow your pride, go ask a farmer, can I trade you this crap that I have for a bit of rice? Or
it's like, I'll pay you
something.
for rice. And it's like, I don't even have enough rice to give away.
Right. Yeah, that kind of desperation is unimaginable to me. And to see two kids go through it also doesn't help that they're really cute kids.
Yeah.
Like, both of them are cute kids, and that little girl is freaking adorable. And, just to watch her suffer for an hour and a half is, she's still got that innocence and light of a little kid for most of it, but you can see her going downhill. About midway through the film. Yeah. You can see the downhill
and then
slide.
It's super tough. Like the scene where she dies, and she's like, "I made you rice balls." I'm like, she's gone, and I'm like, "Oh no, this is it.
Yeah.
This is where it happens." And I was like, "Oh no."
It's rough, and then to watch him take care of her body after that, man,
and then he loses the will to live.
Yeah,
pretty much, because he says that he's got chicken, he's got rice, he's got eggs, he gets all this stuff, and then she dies. So then the next day he gets the charcoal to cremate her, and then just never goes back.
Right.
I'm like, because and we see his food and everything untouched. Mm-hmm. That's just being rained on.
And you forgot one thing. Right before that is when he goes to the city to get all that stuff, and he finds out that Japan has surrendered,
and his dad's
dead.
Yeah.
And so at that point he realizes, oh my gosh, both parents are dead. He comes back
because that whole time they're just waiting on Dad.
Yeah.
Because he's writing him a lot, saying hey, I'm waiting for you to come back, and now knowing that it's just them.
Yeah.
Then Dad's dead, sister dies.
Yeah.
Mom's been gone. It's just it just gives up.
Right.
And that's freaking heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is basically the Angela's Ashes of animated films. It's just sad the whole time. And so it's funny because I had forgotten how he actually died. I asked you right when it ended. I was like, wait, how does he die? Because I remember at the beginning of the movie, it says, I died on this day and blah, blah, blah. But I forgot. So eventually he makes his way back to some city or town.
I mean, that may be the same city, because they when he's at the bank, they're talking about the unconditional surrender. Mm-hmm. And then in the subway, they mentioned that the Americans are coming. They're not even here yet.
So it's pretty shortly after that.
I'm thinking it's probably that same day that he buries his sister.
Oh, you think it was the same day?
I think it may be this. Well, I mean, he cremates his sister. Doesn't go back for any of the food or anything, and he's already starving.
Yeah.
So I think within a day or two.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Because the Americans were quite quick to get in places.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. To me, it again just is a perfect example of the absolute tragedy that war is. And, I have respect for military veterans. They have done a service to this country, and I respect that. I'm grateful for that when it's necessary. But I don't support being happy about, anything that happened in World War II. I mean, that was a rough time. And, like I said before, the scars that Japan has from that, I mean, it's evident in their art, in their film, their animated movies ever since then. There's these running themes that are direct influence of, the fire that rained down upon them. If tables were turned, I'm sure American film history would be very different, very different. And, just in the environment of our world today, it's scary. So, this episode's very dark.
Yeah.
very
Sorry
dark
for not a light-hearted, fun episode.
Let's talk about some of the lighter good things about this movie, because there is some true beauty in this movie as well. I already mentioned that the characters in this movie, the two main characters, the kids, they're just adorable. They're really well-designed characters, and you have an immediate empathy for them because they're beautiful little kids, and you kind of root for them from the moment the movie starts. And so I like that. And in general, I think the character design in this movie is really good. And the character animation is really good. The way that they move, there was that scene when they're in their little shelter that they made themselves, and they're going to sleep, and you see Satsuke, is that her name? Or is that?
Yeah.
You see the little girl like do this cute little like roll over onto her back. She was like,
yeah, Satsuki's the girl.
Yeah, she rolls over onto her back, and then Seta rolls over to her and like puts his arm around her, and then she like squirms away, and he's like, it's too hot, get off of me. And then he rolls back. Like, just watching those movements of them rolling across that mattress back and forth was some of the best human animation I've seen out of Studio Ghibli. It just was so beautiful and believable, and the movement of their anatomy just was perfect. And I loved things like that. So the animation in this was really quite spectacular. I thought the environments were really beautiful, despite, the fire and the destruction and whatever. The artwork of it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
And when they go out and explore, when they're at the aunt's house and they go to the beach and they go through the fields of vegetables and things like that, we see some really beautiful scenes in there. And even where they end up hunkering down in that hillside
really
shelter,
nice little place.
It's a really beautiful little idyllic place. And if it wasn't for the constant freaking air raids, I mean, it would have been a sweet little spot, So there really is a lot of beauty on that level in this movie, and that kind of adds to the gravity of it all, I think. And then the music, you mentioned it sounded very
the end definitely sounded like 80s anime, like very much like a Tenchi Muyo type, like late 80s early 90s anime, a Tenchi like type of music going on. And I was like, okay, yeah, I see. I can see where they're going with like music wise, because this isn't a Miyazaki film, so it's one of those. I don't know if they didn't have a lot of faith in it because it wasn't a Miyazaki film.
Well, at that point, Miyazaki wasn't Miyazaki.
Yeah, I know. I mean, not that they didn't have
young.
Not that they didn't have a lot of faith in. That was a bad choice of words. Like, they hadn't had like some of the critical success that they. I don't even know where I was going with that.
I imagine it's a hard
maybe
film
they
to market.
Yeah, exactly, and maybe they didn't think they could pull a lot of these, big huge scores like we usually get from like a Miyazaki film, because we didn't have any big huge scores in this film.
Yeah,
it's a lot of background music, little ambiance music, stuff like that, but no great big anything like say for instance like Mononoke. Right. There's no swells or anything like that happens with this music.
Yeah, I agree, but I feel like the music that they did use served the movie well. It added the right kind of tone to the movie. I don't think it's a soundtrack that I would go out and listen to on its own, but I felt like it did the work that it was supposed to do on this film. And back to your point though, I think this would have been a tougher movie to market even to that Japanese audience that it would resonate most strongly with, because it is a cartoon and it is dealing with these really kind of rough and dark themes. So yeah, I didn't see any box office numbers for it. I did some cursory research, but did you ever see any box office numbers for it?
No.
So I don't know if this was a successful one. Until we dug it up to watch it on our show, like I had never heard of it. Like nobody, when they talk about Studio Ghibli, tends to mention this film. And so I don't know if it has a lasting legacy even amongst Ghibli fans, if they, if a lot of people out there own it and watch it over and over. I'm not sure. Some people like that catharsis of watching something really sad and dealing with those emotions more than once. Some people, I imagine you're good. You've watched it and you probably won't watch it again.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. People, are one way or the other. But again, I don't know that this had a huge success or a lasting legacy. So I'm not sure where it kind of sits in people's minds in the Jeep Lee Canon. I got to tell you, it made an impact on me, and I thought it was a really, really, really well done film, despite the challenge it was to watch.
Yeah.
So, do you want to rate it, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, no. I mean, we had to do palate cleansers.
We did. When
after
it
the
ended,
movie. Like, I needed to watch something happy.
And we watched some goofy videos and had a chill moment because, yeah, it's rough.
It's
very rough.
All right, yeah. I think I'm ready to rate it.
All right, you go first.
I'm going to give it 3 Dipper Pines.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I'm going to give it 4 Dipper Pines.
Okay.
It was good. It's just one of those where I'm like, I can't watch this. Or I'll probably watch it again. It'll just be a while.
Yeah.
It'll be a while before I hit this again.
Yeah. I am going to give it a slightly higher rating. I'm going 4.5 Jiminy Crickets. And it's because I think this is a beautifully made film. The animation is spectacular. And I like the fact that it has realism to it. It doesn't, glorify or romanticize that time period or war. And it really shows a wonderful relationship between a brother and a sister, which I loved. And I don't know, it's a hard film to watch, but I kind of feel like this is actually a really important film, and I would say I highly recommend it. But be careful. It's rough.
Another thing I just remembered.
What?
That freaking aunt told Setsuko that her mom died.
I hate that
What
aunt.
the heck?
She might be my most hated animation character. Like, I do not like her at all. And I'm going to not like her for a long time.
What a horrible, horrible person.
Yes.
They should have left and gone back to that poor chick at the elementary school.
Yeah.
They would have been better.
But again, who knows if she had the means to help much.
Probably not.
That's the sad truth of it. So.
Well, at least she was semi-nice.
What's next on our agenda, Josh? Are we going to watch a more upbeat movie next?
I don't know. It's The Illusionist. I don't know if that's upbeat or not. I haven't seen it.
Well, there's only up from here. So maybe we
could
watch
the
schedule a little bit, and maybe we go super light on the next one. I don't know. We might have to talk about that. But yeah, sorry if this was depressing, everybody. But this film is depressing. But I think it's depressing in a intentional, artful way. And I again recommend this movie. So
yeah. What would we watch next week if
I
not?
don't know. Like
Trolls?
Freaking Emperor's New Groove or something. Something that's hilarious. Something
bright and colorful. Well,
yeah.
No, people get eaten in Trolls. Maybe not. Maybe we don't do Trolls.
Something like by Warner Brothers or DreamWorks. Something bright and shiny.
Summer Wars.
No, not Summer Wars.
Oh, let's talk about Summer Wars. We watched Padma Inverted.
We've already done Summer Wars.
Yeah, so. I mean, none.
We'll just go back to our old favorites.
Yeah.
We'll just do Cowboy Bebop again.
We haven't done the series.
That's true.
Okay. Got anything else, Gavin?
I got to finally so Inktober ended and I sold 30 out of 31 drawings, which means I raised $300 for Puerto Rico. And I matched that dollar for dollar. So this week, you'll see a post if you haven't already. I donated $600 to the Puerto Rico fund set up by the Global Giving Foundation, who is continuing to help the suffering people in Puerto Rico. So everybody, just remember that these tragedies might have left the news cycle, but nothing's fixed there yet, basically. Yeah. I mean, Puerto Rico is screwed. So send your love, your dollars, your donations. There's plenty of other places you can send it to. So, just try to make the world a better place, help people out. That's why I like what Rooster Teeth did. That was a hugely positive weekend thing that they did. So, Yeah, so that was exciting. I was very pleased that so many people were able to buy drawings and make that donation with me. So thanks to all my followers and supporters for doing that.
You're welcome, Gavin.
Yeah, you got one. And then, my art show at the Popzilla Gallery, not my art show, but an art show that I'm in with One Piece.
It's your art show.
I don't know
if you're in
that.
the art show, it's your art show.
Okay. Well, the art show at Popzilla Gallery, the Foolish Mortals Haunted Mansion Tribute Show, is happening this Saturday, the 18th of November, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'd love it if you came out and said hello. May have some things to give out while I'm there, but my art will be for sale. Prints of my art will be for sale, and also lots of other awesome artists will have their art available as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, come say hey.
And we are still doing our Race to Reviews special. So we're at, I think we're still at 15 reviews. We need to hit 25.
Okay. Come on, people, review us.
Yes, reviews on iTunes, and then who knows, maybe you'll win that awesome prize package we got.
Yeah.
We also have our Thanks giveaway going on right now. You'll see a post for everything that we're doing for our Thanks giveaway. You should see that on our social media. Should be on there Sunday or yesterday when you're listening. Yeah, you'll be able to find that. We're giving away some awesome Gavin Austin art, some awesome art from Thomas Estrada, and we're giving away a copy of Your Name.
Nice.
Not Gavin. Giving an actual Your Name. So
right.
Kimi no Nawa. Which came out. I got my copies in. I watched Your Name last Tuesday when I got it in, and I cried.
Yeah, I know what moment you cried at, too.
Yep. Well, there's a couple.
Yeah, you cried when they wrote I love you in their hands.
Oh, God, when they wrote I love you on their hands, and then when they meet again at the very end of the movie,
yeah,
I was
true.
like...
That's good, too. Well, and they do that thing where it's like, if you guys walk by each other one more time, and
right?
they do it, and you're like, no! That movie's so good. I love it.
But yeah, I noticed something on that one. Like, I paused it during the scene where she's taking where they're taking the sake to the Cave of Wonders. I paused it, looked, and they drew all of those individual leaves, man.
Yeah.
They drew all of those.
That artwork is
ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
And that scene again, I watched it and I was like, dang, it's so pretty.
That's very much a Japanese animation thing where they do pack in the detail, like all of the cityscapes in that movie, all of the landscapes. I mean, the detail is crazy. And you see that a lot in other Japanese animated feature films. You see like a field of grass and the wind will come by and you'll see all of the individual blades of grass bend to that wind and ripple like water, super impressive. And Your Name is one of the most impressive animated things I've ever seen. Go watch it, people.
Right up there with Nope. What was it? Garden of Words. Garden of Words was pretty for the water effects. The water effects in Garden of Words were really, really nice.
I agree.
But again, such a good freaking movie.
Yeah, Your Name is this show's highest recommended anime, probably. Like collectively. Would you put anything above Your Name? Like, as a general recommendation? I don't know that I would.
Something that I've seen more, I would probably still put...
Summer Wars?
I don't know. Summer Wars and Boy and the Beast.
Yeah, those are fantastic
And Padma.
movies.
I love all three of those. Those are my four favorite anime movies. I have to have a fifth one. I guess Bebop.
Mononoke? You love that one.
Yeah, but again, I have that weird
We're
thing.
doing an improv top 5 right now.
Yeah, I do that weird thing where I don't like saying, even though they're totally anime movies.
I know.
They just don't seem anime to me, except Spirited Away. Spirited Away seems the most anime of any of the Miyazaki.
See, I think you'll feel
movies.
like Totoro is anime.
Oh, are we watching Totoro?
I don't know. We don't have it on the schedule.
Okay.
I won't make you watch anything.
Better not.
I won't.
Good.
I won't. I'm not an arm twister.
Well, you made me watch
notice
Max
that
and
we're
Mary.
almost 70 episodes in, and I haven't made you watch Pinocchio. So you're welcome.
Why? Because I've seen Pinocchio. And I think
that's true.
And I think deep down inside, we would get negative downloads for that episode. Somehow, people would request their downloads back.
I need a return on this.
That's what would happen. The moment we do Pinocchio, the podcast shuts down.
That's hilarious.
We shelve it all.
Hey, so do we have any bonus content coming up?
Yes, we actually have this week coming out on Friday. We have, my interview with Mela Lee, voice actress from Miraculous Ladybug. Mm-hmm. She voices Tiki. Mm-hmm. She also voices in the Fate series.
Oh, full circle.
We brought that back around. She also voices Rin Tosaka.
Okay.
In all of the Fates so far, except she's not in Apocrypha. But she's in Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. She's in the new Fate, Grand Order? I don't remember. But she's in that one, so she's still voicing Rin, going strong.
Very cool.
She was in Digiman.
There it is.
Digimon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you played,
said it on wax now.
I think she was Biomon in one of the All-Star Rumble games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So we got her coming out.
Sweet.
That'll be fun. That was a fun interview. She's honestly, she's probably the nicest person I've ever talked to.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We talked for a little bit before.
I mean, that's crazy because you talk to me every week.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. So, yeah, I talked a little bit before with her, and then we did the episode, and then we talked for about another 40 minutes afterwards, just the two of us.
Okay, I got to tell you, I listened to your episode where you interviewed Estrada. Thomas Estrada? Thomas Estrada. At the convention. I really liked it. I liked the ambient noise where you guys were at the convention. It just had a real live feel to it. Great interview. He was awesome. If you guys haven't listened to that interview, go back and listen. Thomas Estrada had some very interesting things to say, especially about animation, which I thought was fascinating. But at the end, you asked him the most important question. So if you haven't listened to the episode, go back and listen to it, and you'll hear the important question. Did you ask her the important question as well?
Asked Melanie the important question as well.
All right. We need to make that our new thing so that we can know where everybody in animation stands on that one question.
And it's a very important, groundbreaking, heavy-hitting question.
It's a divisive question.
Yeah.
You're either one way or the other. There's no middle ground.
Exactly.
So go check it out.
It's definitely it's a hard one too. I mean, it's definitely a thinker question.
It really is.
Because no one comes straight out and said yes, no, blah blah. I hate it. I love it. Mm-hmm. Anything like that. It's very. It's a thinker question for sure.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Everyone. Shout out to everyone.
Shout out everybody.
Peace and love to everyone.
Or if you're Trigun, love and peace. You do the whole finger weird.
What do
thing.
they do? They cross their fingers?
Yeah.
Oh
no, I think he does say peace and love.
Okay.
Johnny on Bosch. Anyway, want to give a shout out to our good friends over at Cloud City Cast.
Yeah.
And people over there. Yeah, I think they're in
New York.
They're still in New York.
I don't know if they're still there while we record this, but they have been this past week.
Yeah.
Getting all snow angeled out. And, it's like a different world out there.
I did look because I was on the Mac and I was looking through iTunes and everything yesterday, and our top 3 longest episodes, all with Cloud City Cast.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
We did the one where we did a 4-way top 5, and that part of it alone took 45 minutes.
That was 2 hours and 4 minutes. That episode.
Jeez. That's a long episode.
And then
I love our conversations with them, but woo, that was
And then there was an hour and 47 minutes, and then an hour and 38.
Nice.
Those are our 3 longest episodes.
Yeah.
All with them.
We did what's it called? Death Note with Liam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was an hour and 30.
That was a fun one. I like that one.
That was a good one.
Go back and listen to our Death Note episode.
Yeah,
if you
it was a
haven't
good
listened
episode.
to it. It was fun.
There was divisiveness in that too.
There was. Indeed.
But yeah, on oh wait, never mind. That's coming out later.
Ah.
That's a later episode.
More bonus teases.
Yeah, I sat down with friend of the show, Hannah. She's been on a couple episodes.
She was on the last episode.
She was on the last episode.
Surprise pop-in guest.
Exactly, and she was on the first Miraculous Ladybug episode. So this time, we sit down with Brittany from Cloud City Cast, and again, we talk about Miraculous Ladybug.
Well, that's cool. An episode with 3 girls. I like it. Okay, what else you got going?
An episode with 3 girls.
I had to do that for Liam. Liam would have said that.
No, Liam would have been, nerds. That's what Liam would have said.
You do good impersonations, but you need to work on your Liam. That's not really
I think it's pretty good.
No, you need to work on it.
It's pretty good.
I think you can
probably
do it.
No, Star Wars. I was in a band. That's a pretty good Liam.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It was called Shinedown. It's called For Honor. Bright Souls. That was the name of the band. It was good.
None of those were right.
Yeah, it was. What were we talking about?
I think we're closing the show.
Yeah,
we
need to close the show. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
That's the second time you've said that, so I actually believe you.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Gavin, where can everybody?
Everybody can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Otteson Art, and on the web, GavinOttesonArt.com. And on Saturday, you can find me at Pop Comics in Anaheim. Come see me.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast.
On Twitter at Animate Podcast.
On Facebook at Animation Station Podcast.
On Tumblr, Animation Station Podcast. You're so excited. Yeah, you got thrown off.
I did. I meant to do Tumblr, not Facebook. I got confused. You can also find all of our episodes on iTunes.
And Stitcher.
And on our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Just click on the podcast tab, and you can listen to all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to tell us how we're doing, want to not tell us how we're doing, want to tell us how great we are, want to tell us how bad we are, if you have anything you want to recommend for us to watch or talk about, just go to animationstationpodcast@gmail.com and shoot us an email.
Yeah.
Or you can go to our website and click on the contact us, and it's basically the same thing.
Right.
But, either way.
You can find us.
Yeah, you can.
We're around. Mm-hmm. All right, man. Let's go get you some brekkie.
Well, it's 2:00, so it's maybe
there are places that still serve brekkie.
I know, but I don't want to eat at McDonald's.
What? There are other places that have brekkie all day.
Yeah, I'm hungry though. I don't think I want brekkie. I want like good food.
Well, let's go figure it out. Let's close this down and figure it out.
All right. So for the Animation Station podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Gavin.
Bye, little butterfly.
Made you look.
That girl ate mud.
She did.
Yeah, she ate mud.
Thank you for listening to the Animation Station podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Animate Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes and join the conversation at SecretSuperheroClub.com, where you can connect with our podcast friends, Cloud City Cast, Getting Into Comics, and Shaun of the Gathering.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial came out this day in 1982.
It's a fantastic movie.
Ew, it's gross.
No, it's a great movie.
No, it's bad.
You don't like E.T.?
No.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of Spielberg.
Oh, really? You're
Yeah.
not a big Spielberg fan? No. I didn't know that.
Did he do all the Indiana Joneses, or was that Lucas?
Well,
I think
Lucas
they helped.
was the producer. I think Spielberg was the director for the first 2. I don't know if he did Last Crusade or not.
Oh.
2 is where he met his wife, Kate Capshaw. Like that's where they
and that's why
met
she was
and
in the
fell
movie.
Love.
Even though she can't act at
She
all.
was awful.
She was so bad. Short Round was better, and Short Round
was awesome.
Short Round's awful. Dr. John! But you can't do it without being super racist.
I like Short Round. I like Temple of Doom. It's the third best in that trilogy, but I do like it.
It's the third best in that trilogy of 3.
Well, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means I like it less than the other 2.
I mean, the club scene where they're at like the whatever. That's awful.
Why is that awful?
It's just bad. Like when they start the movie, that's just bad.
But the diamond falls in the ice, and all the ice cubes are being kicked around the floor, and nobody can tell an ice cube from a diamond.
Yes, it is bad.
Could you tell an ice cube from a diamond, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one of them's cold. You just look, be like, that ice cube's not melting. It must be that one.
I like it, but I it's kind of like Cars 2. It's like they took these characters and they just kind of went a little over the top with all of it, and that's how I think of Temple of Doom. But then they bring it back home in that third one, and it's awesome.
Yeah, because they bring in Sean Connery.
Yeah.
And we name the dog Indy. Fantastic lines.
That's a good movie, man.
And suddenly I remembered my Charlemagne. Beautiful stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I love Indiana Jones. That's my jam.
Your Indiana jams? Nope.